Hello again, I'm Blunty, and it's time to talk tech and offer up another shiny gadget on the altar of review. And today I'll be casting my eye over the R522 from Samsung. Let's go for a walk around the beastie. As you can see, it features what has pretty much become a design trademark for Samsung across almost everything they make these days. A high gloss black plastic finish. A massive magnet for fingerprint frustration, but you can't deny it's an elegant look. And as far as I can tell, without getting needlessly abusive and taking a set of keys to this borrowed review unit, seems reasonably resistant to scratches and marks of a permanent nature. Beyond the superficial beauty of the R522, let's prod the hardware side of things. Over on the right-hand side, we get a DVD-RW multi-drive and two vertically stacked USB ports, which are so close they may be a pain in the ass for the chunkier USB plugs out there. And well, there's not much else here, but things get much more interesting over the other side. Here we get a standard Kensington lock, a VGA out, gigabit Ethernet port, and in a splash of awesome, a HDMI port, which means you can hook this bugger right up to your big, shiny, flat panel TV. There's also an eSATA port, another USB port, your audio in and out, and a 54mm express card expansion slot. There are two things of special note about the USB ports here. The first is that the eSATA port I just mentioned, well, it's a dual function port because it also doubles as a USB port, bringing the total number for this unit to a very usable 4. But it doesn't stop there. Samsung have included software on the unit which will let you continue to have power output available to one of the USB ports even when the laptop is shut down and closed. This gives you the opportunity to get out of what would otherwise be a furiously annoying situation of dead gadgets, allowing you to charge USB devices like phones or many cameras and the like, while nowhere near a power point. Swing the super shiny slab open and you're greeted with a beautifully crisp 15.6-inch glossy screen. And those of you who stare at screens as often as I do may have already noticed that unlike the majority of laptops out there currently, which have a 16:10 screen, this one is a full-on widescreen 16:9 display with a native resolution of 1366 by 768. It makes it a little more pleasant when working with Windows tiles side by side, but it also makes it perfect for watching movies without intrusive black bars top and bottom like you get on standard 16:10 displays. But if you are going to be watching movies on this, I'd suggest investing in some good headphones or a nice set of speakers, because while the built-in stereo speakers are clear and output a decent volume, the sound itself is a bit thin and, well, unimpressive really. And of course there's the now ever-present webcam peeking at you from the top of the display housing. In this case, it's a usable but unremarkable 1.3 megapixel unit. Powering the display is an ATI Mobility Radeon HD 4330 chipset with 512 megabytes of its own RAM. And while I wouldn't call this machine a gaming rig by any standards, it will certainly give you enough grunt for the less hardcore out there. I threw on an install of the demo of Wolfenstein, and despite the misery of trying to play an FPS game with the trackpad because I couldn't find a mouse in my house, I had absolutely zero problem playing the game. It loaded quickly, it ran smooth enough to make it a pleasant experience, and I was able to blow sticky red chunks out of Nazi faces quite happily without having to tweak or downgrade any of the default video settings. Swing down to the horizontal bit where you bash things to make other things happen, and we find a quite well-designed keyboard layout, which apparently has some sort of special treatment impregnated in the keys that help keep germs and other grimy unpleasantness at bay. I have no idea how it will cope with the Cheeto-stained paws of the average World of Warcraft player, but it is designed to be spill-resistant, which is another feature I won't be testing on this borrowed unit for obvious reasons. The keyboard surround has an almost brushed aluminium look to it despite being plastic, and the whole construction feels quite rigid and tight. The trackpad has a quite pleasant but functionally useless ring of soft glowing blue around it, which serves no other purpose but to look kinda cool. It does turn itself off after a minute or so of inactivity, so it's not going to be annoying you while you try and watch a movie or something. The pad itself has a nice feel to it, not too smooth, not too grippy, and the single bar below it serves as a rocker for left and right click. And happily, unlike some other devices I've used with this single bar design, the Samsung never got confused about which click I tried to clack. It's worth noting as well that while the trackpad has a dedicated scroll area at the side, it also accepts the two-finger scroll gesture that I've become so accustomed to from using my Mac. And also, almost hiding down the front left corner is an SD memory card reader which will read SD, SDHC and MMC cards quite happily. Under the hood, there's a 2 GHz Core 2 Duo processor, 4 GB of RAM, and a 320 GB hard drive, which doesn't make it a screaming powerhouse of churning supercomputing, but it is certainly enough to make daily use of the R522 a pleasant and smooth experience. And of course, you've got built-in Wi-Fi and Bluetooth to take care of your wireless connectivity needs. Running on battery, the official spec sheet claims it'll churn away for up to 5 hours. In what I like to call real life, I found that using it under normal use conditions, you'll pretty easily get a little over 3.5 hours from it, which is frankly pretty normal for a laptop of this size and in this category. It's neither shit nor spectacular, maybe just slightly above average. It's also a bit lighter than it looks like it should be, which felt a bit odd the first time I picked it up, but it's a good thing if you're going to be lugging it around to school, work or play, of course. Naturally, it comes with Windows 7 of the home premium flavour. It also comes with some YouTube-compatible video software for the webcam and some handy utilities from Samsung to keep the machine running all nice and slick. It also runs very, very silently, like ninja silent. Quite impressive. All balled up, the R522 is a well-built mid-range laptop with a pleasant design that you'll appreciate staring at for long periods of time, very good fit and finish and build quality, and performance that won't make your face explode, but will smoothly get the job done without complaining. It's pretty good bang for your buck too. If you're an Aussie with a pocket full of our colourful cash, at the time this review goes out, you'll be able to find yourself one of these for somewhere pretty close to $1,000. And I'd call that a pretty good deal for this glossy black all-rounder. Worth checking out. Catch you next time.